Happy Monday, y'all. Happy Monday. We are on our way to work. All right, I gotta clear this memory card. It got like, I think it says it has an hour and 5 minutes left on it, which to y'all might sound like a long time, but really it's not. And that also means I got a lot of stuff on this card, and it can take hours to clear a card. Hours. It's the most interesting phenomenon. But in the meantime, guys, it is Monday, and in Kenya, we did buy this wooden bowl situation that we wanted to use as a sugar bowl. But as I was trying to clean it yesterday, I realized like, this thing ain't made for food, because it kept having particles on the inside that kept coming off. And now it's almost like however they painted it or stained it, it was not sealed. So even the color is coming off from being wet. So I was like, okay, that's not gonna work as a sugar bowl. But even then, it's still a beautiful carving. And I did get it at the wood carving place where we actually saw the men carving the wood by hand, physically right there. So it always feels good to support work, to support talent, to support gainful, I don't even know if you would call it employment, but gainful bouts of entrepreneurship, ways of bringing in money into your own experience. Because I know in other countries it's a little different than where we are, where it's almost like you have to go out there and figure out ways to bring in commerce into your life. There's no social system where the government is going to support you and just give you money for welfare or child support or any of those things. So you really have to be able to use your own talent and bring money into your life. And that's a lesson that I think we all, everywhere, no matter where you live, could really learn. How can we bring in money into our lives using what we got? If you're short in an area, if you don't have enough for in an area, what can you do to go out there and bring in some money? Especially when it comes to our things like debts. You know, we owe debt and we say, well, we only make X, Y, and Z, so we don't have enough to pay extra, to pay more, to not go into. But what can you do? Like, really challenge yourself and really think outside the box. What can you do to get the flow and the exchange of commerce going in your life? We all have talents. We do. Even if it's something that you may not think is a talent, we do. Like, for instance, I could really use somebody who has the talent and gift of cooking, because that's just something I don't have a desire to do, right? So I can support that ministry if that was somebody's ministry. Within reason. At this stage in my life, it has to be within reason, because I'm not independently wealthy yet. You know, I don't have all of the excess yet. I will. And I say yet because, remember, I still have this goal of paying off my home. So therefore, whatever excess I do have needs to go towards that front. I got so many nephews and nieces and family members who I would love to pour into a little more in ways that I want to pour into them. I don't care about what y'all want to do. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. But what I would love to do, because I love travel, I would love to be able to bring more people along on wonderful, meaningful travels. Not just like, gee, my bonus daughter, I'm not married yet, but you know, she's my little person. What am I? Can I be a mentor? Can I be her mentor? What can I be? I don't know. But, you know, bring G, bring my nieces, bring my nephews to these wonderful places that I go that can really enrich their lives. So those are some of the things that I would love to be able to do. Even my sisters, you know. Today, I do have, Jay made me some coffee this morning. Thank you, baby. Because he be up. And I'm like, what? He in there making me coffee. And he's not even drinking coffee. Like, wow. Thank you so much for this. I got some Brussels sprouts that he brought me back from Honeymoon chicken. And it's so funny because somebody actually left a comment on one of our shorts on sitting in a tree with Honeymoon, and they said something to the effect like, oh wow, like y'all went to the hood to get some chicken or something like that. And I've never been to Honeymoon Chicken, so I don't know where it's located. But Jay, I think he said it may be located off of Georgia Avenue in its northwest or whatever. But he was like, it didn't look like the hood to me. But my response to that is this. We're all in this together. We are all in this together. So if you open up a restaurant and something deemed the hood, do you not deserve support? And I guess also the term hood is subjective, because what's one person's hood may not be another person's hood. Now, I do believe that the person who left the comment, they're familiar with DC. I believe they may even live in DC, so they know. They would know. We live on the outskirts of DC. Like for the longest, Southeast has been considered the hood. But Southeast has been going through all kind of gentrifications. I have friends who live in Southeast and they live in nice homes. I have friends who have businesses in Southeast and they are beautiful businesses. And I just say that to say I've never been one to be afraid of an area. I've lived in areas that people were like, oh, it's bad over there. But I do believe that energy protects us. We can wrap ourselves in the cloak of energy, in the cloak of prayers, in the cloak of a hedge of protection. And we're good. We're good. If that's what you believe for yourself, right? Yeah, I've lived in some of the shadiest of shady places. I lived on those streets where, before living on those streets, people were like, stay away from that street because that street is not good. And what it is maybe an incident or 2 or 3 or 10 may have happened on that street, and that street will forevermore have a reputation. That's what it is. But I've survived. We survived. I've been there in other areas, like when we stay in Harlem in New York, especially back a little bit further back in the day. It's like, oh my goodness, it's don't do it, and we've done it and it's been good. Miami, Overtown. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Overtown, but that's another area where people be like, oh no, it's bad. And especially it's people who may not be of our demographic, people who, you know, you grow up hearing a thing or two, but then you don't even realize the changes that are taking place in the area. Like in Overtown now, they've opened up a Red Rooster, which is, yeah, it's a really good restaurant. Upscale, high-end, Afro-Caribbean food. So good, you know. So I just say that to say that, you know, we can't let the reputation or what we heard about an area run us off from supporting businesses in said area and having great experiences in said area and building memories and changing the energy of an area. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy a house there or you need to go hang out there every day. Hey, matter of fact, my old hairdresser was in that area. If we're talking about like Northwest, Georgia Avenue, Kennedy Street sort of things. And it's funny because I think the first time I did go to that hairdresser, they did walk me to my car. They escorted me. I guess I looked like I wasn't about that life, so that was funny. But then they stopped walking me to my car after a while. But yeah. And then look at this. This is the honey chicken, baby. Remember I told you that person said you went to the hood to get it? But look at this bag. It says fried chicken made fancy. Honeymoon chicken. He's like, it's so good.
Chicken. 2 times I've been there, I haven't been disappointed. It's nice and crunchy, tasty, fresh. Oh, not greasy. It's just perfect, bro. It's perfect. Every time it's in Northwest. Every time I'm around Northwest, I put it there. Last time I went, it was like, oh, you're 6 minutes away. It's like, yeah. It's a little expensive though, but I got like large Brussels sprouts with like, I believe I told a 3-piece, but I seen they only gave me a 2-piece. I don't know if they charged me for 3-piece, but the bag said 2-piece. I didn't look at my receipt because I didn't ask for one.
You better ask for your receipt.
But it was like $20.
Fetch.com.
It was like $20.
Wow.